Hotep, I am the Amen Osiris, the one and only undisputed God of law, the 4D destroyer. I am not a lawyer. This is not a law firm. We don't advocate you don't support your human offspring. We simply advocate that you made them in private, you take care of them in private. And today, what I'm going to teach you is that the 4D crime family are the beneficiaries. Okay, they're the only ones that are benefiting from Title 4D. Okay, and I'm going to introduce you if you're not aware of Blessings versus Freestone. It's a damn good reading, and it's a really positive court case for you. Okay, it's an older case, but it has not been overturned. All right, and you're going to see some other cases that actually validate this case, who from the lower courts who have also quoted this case. All right, so in Blessings, in Blessings, 1983 claims were brought by 5 Arizona mothers against the state officials on grounds that the state child welfare agencies consistently failed to meet the requirement of Title 4D of the Social Security Act, requiring states receiving federal child welfare funds to substantially comply with the regulations designed to ensure timely payment of child support. Okay. Now, number one, they didn't bring this suit against state agencies. All right. And all right, what they did was they put this state against 4D contractors. Okay. These are agents of a foreign principal. All right. Title 4D of the Social Security Act is not enacted into positive law. All right. It is a commercial. It's a non-positive law title, but it means it's a commercial law title, which means there must be a contract. All right. The United States Supreme Court found defendants' actions did not assert a violation of a federal right. Okay. So they brought in a 1983 claim, right, and tried to get them to substantially comply with the regulations. And here's what the United States Supreme Court found defendants' action did not assert a violation of a federal right. The requirement that a state operate its 4D program in substantial compliance with Title 4D was not intended to benefit individual children and custodial parents, and therefore it does not constitute a federal right. Let's highlight that. Far from creating an individual entitlement to service, the standard is simply a yardstick for the Secretary to measure the system-wide performance of a state's 4D program. Thus, the Secretary must look to the aggregate service provided by the state, not to whether the needs of any particular person have been satisfied. All right? So Title 4D was not intended, it was never intended to benefit children or custodial parents. All right. Under Blessings versus Freestone, it also says the Secretary has interpreted substantial compliance as what? Full compliance with requirements that services be offered statewide. That's all they're doing, gentlemen. All they're doing is offering and selling services. Okay? And you're going to learn why they get the benefit, or the children, or the children, or the custodial parents. All right, you'll see why it's not benefiting them as well. And here's another case law: Wehunt versus Ledbetter. 4 mothers did the same thing. All right. With absent fathers, brought suit under 1983 against the Georgia Health and Human Services for its failure to establish the paternity of their children and secure child support on their behalf. All right. Now, gentlemen, the Georgia Department of Health and Human Services is a state agency who actually has immunity. Okay. However, if you decide you're going to bring suit, you're not going to bring it against the Department of Human Services. All right. You're bringing that against the single and separate 4D agency that's operating in the state. All right. And that involves the commissioner and Scott Leakin. All right. So The 11th Circuit held that Title 4D does not does not create enforceable rights on behalf of needy families. There it is again, with children, because they are not the intended beneficiaries of the statute. All right, there it is again. Two case laws that say that there's no benefit. They're not the beneficiaries. Here's how they become a third-party beneficiary. As we explained in Pennhurst State School and Hospital versus Haldeman, such an agreement is the nature of a contract. The state promises to provide certain services to private individuals in exchange for which the federal government promises to give the state funds. In contract law, when such an arrangement is made, a promise A, which is the 4D agency, promises to pay B, which is what? A is what? A is the Federal Office of Title 4D, all right? The OCSC, Federal Office of Child Support Enforcement, under the commission of Scott Legan. B is the extension of the OCSC, which is the single and separate unit. So this is the Fed, all right? And this, basically, child support, gentlemen, it's a franchise. This is the franchisor, and this is the franchisee. All right, there has to be a contract. All right, A promises to pay B money in exchange for which B promises to provide services to C. C is your baby mama. The person who receives the benefit, there it is again, look, now check this out, of the exchange of promises between the two others is called a third-party beneficiary. Okay? This is incidental. Okay, so, and you're going to see this. Now, what is a benefit? A benefit refers to what is advantageous, whatever promotes prosperity, as counter-distinguished from what is injurious. Who's benefiting? Okay, beneficiaries, a person who derives advantage from something. Now, here we go. The court in Golden State suggested in dictum that a statute does not create enforceable rights if the benefit to the plaintiff is merely incidental. What is incidental? Liable to happen as a consequence of an activity. Okay? So what they did, what the Klein family did, they said, yo, we're going to put this system together, right? And we're going to tax these people so hard, and they won't be able to get out of it. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to give them these social security numbers, right? And they're going to connect these social security numbers to everything, and anything connected to that social security number, we can shut down or lien or take. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to create the belief that this is for the best interest of the children. Okay, and that way we'll get the public sympathy on our side, and everybody will agree. Okay, and we can get away with bloody murder and nobody will ever know we're doing it. And what we'll do is we'll look like we're a government agency. All right, that's literally what they did. Okay, now let's continue. 2 appellate courts and 5 district courts have ruled on this issue. 4 courts have denied the suit. Okay, this case reverse the district court's denial of the defendant's motion to dismiss. And We Hunt versus Ledbetter, we just read that one. You got Mason versus Bradley and Oliphant versus Bradley. These are cases out of Chicago. All right, and these are the cases that says that the state voluntarily is doing what they're doing. Now, I'm going to show you where the benefit comes from for the 4D crime family. Okay, this is business. It's just a business, fellas. Section 8, Child Support Enforcement Program, page 65. This is the original one, okay? The CSE program is a partnership between the federal government and the states. Partnership and association between 2 or more persons to carry on as co-owners of a business for profit. What is business? Activity or enterprise for gain, advantage, which benefits. There's that word again, okay? Look at the words, gentlemen. Which benefits corporations, organizations, or its members. Section 8, this is the newest version of Section 8 of the Child Support Enforcement Program, page 65. And I quote, states still make a profit from the 4D program. States are free to spend the state's share of collections in any manner the state sees fit. What is profit? Gain realized from what? Business or investment. Okay? Title 4D, the crime family, gentlemen. This is I'm telling you, I have broken this down. I mean, it's just like taking candy from a baby. Okay? It was never put in place for women or children. It was put in place for business. It was put in place for profit. That's all it is. Okay? This is legalized racketeering. And I'm telling you, if you've never torn down the 4D playbook, I'm telling you, the plan is, I mean, again, not to play devil's advocate, is fucking brilliant. And they got you. Okay? So now that you know that and can prove that Title 4D was not intended to benefit women or children, right? How is it? What are you getting hauled into court for? Okay. See, the funny part is nobody has standing in that case. There's no injured party. There's no locus standi. Okay. There's no corpus delicti. All they're doing is trying to squeeze a Title 4D lien money out of you. That's all, because of the bonds they floated on the market. All right. So, are you a judge? Yes. So you're not under a Title 4D contract. Okay. And more importantly, why are we here? Well, you were ordered to pay child support. Ordered to pay child support by whom? Who had the authority to order me to do anything? Sir, there's no sir. All right. If you're, are you a constitutional officer? Do you have an oath to the Constitution? Okay, because the Constitution says all men are by nature equal, free, and independent. I am free, not subject to the legal constraint of another, having the power to follow the dictates of my own free will. All right. When did that get lost? Okay. Title 4D is not for women and children. It is for profit. That's all it's for. And you have learned that today, and you can now prove it. All right. I could have went deeper than this, but this little formula, this will work for you. Okay. Not, work for you, but it's part of your arsenal. It's part of the 4D counter technique, fellas. Okay, what are you enforcing? You can't be enforcing child support because child support ain't for the benefit of the kids. Well, so what are you here enforcing? You gotta be kidding me. Felon bumped your head, man. I told you, stop accepting their invitations. Stop accepting their offers to come and visit with them. All right? It's plain as day. It's plain as simple. Okay. The 4D crime family. I'm telling you, man, these are some bad motherfuckers. They're in a partnership, a business for profit. That's all 4D is right here, a business for profit. Okay. Now you know it. That's why I tell you, break down these words. All right. Don't just look at a word, tear it down. You'll be surprised when you find out about a word. Then tear down the words that are in the definition of the word you tore down in the first place, and just keep going and going and going. Okay. There's millions of ways to skin a cat, fellas. All right. Again, part of the 4D technique. If you need my help, bang my email, 4D_destroyer@yahoo.com. Okay. And we'll get you straight. Hotep.